2025 has been a turbulent year with weather events, economic uncertainty, and many changes happening in our world at lightning fast speed. It's enough to make the most calm, cool, and collected quake a little bit in their boots. But it's not just now. Life is always throwing us curveballs to cause disruption and a sense of insecurity just when we think we have everything under control. So how do we take care of ourselves, stay centered, and not overeat when our outer world seems to be falling apart? Never fear. Today, you and I are going to walk through how to bring our blood pressure down and turn up our ability to manage our emotions without reaching for food. So grab your coziest blanket and cuddle up on the couch or take us out on a walk, but come on in. Did you know that our struggle with weight doesn't start with the food on your plate or get fixed in the gym? 80% of our weight struggle is mental. That's right. The key to unlocking long-term weight release and management begins in your mind. Hi there, I'm Rita Black. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, weight loss expert, best-selling author, and the creator of the Shift Weight Mastery process. And not only have I helped thousands of people over the past 20 years achieve long-term weight mastery, I am also a former weight struggler, carb addict, and binge eater. And after 2 decades of failed diets and fad weight loss programs, I lost 40 pounds with the help of hypnosis. Not only did I release all that weight, I have kept it off for 25 years. Enter the Thin Thinking podcast, where you too will learn how to remove the mental roadblocks that keep you struggling. I'll give you the thin thinking tools, skills, and insights to help you develop the mindset you need, not only to achieve your ideal weight, but to stay there long term and live your best life. Sound good? Let's get started. Hello, you. Come on in and take a seat, take a load off. Woo-wee. It has been a year, hasn't it? To quote Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies, "Yee doggies." Oh my, I felt an urgent need for this week's episode because so many of you, my Thin Thinking lovelies, have been reaching out to me because of the stress eating going on, because of all the uncertainty that is going on in the world. All the severe weather, including the LA fires, which I was here in my own hometown. The wars, the uncertainty about the economy, and not just here in the United States, but I have heard from my Canadian and European and Australian and New Zealand friends as well, and all of you from all over the world. It isn't just local, it's global. The compounding effect of many things happening has created a perfect storm to want to soothe ourselves with food. So let's look at how we can take back our power, show up for ourselves, and take care of ourselves without reaching for food during these uncertain times. Let's face it, life is uncertain. There are many external disruptions that can happen to us, health crises, losing jobs, losing a loved one, and so on and so on. So if we're all playing the long-term permanent weight mastery journey, we need to know how to manage this without food. Now, before we dive in, I want to let you know I have a little free gift for you as well to sort of soothe and comfort you. And it is our Shift Out of Stress hypnosis session. And it is in the show notes, so go grab it. You just need to enter your name and email. And if you really want to treat yourself, I've included the link to my emotional eating toolkit, which I am offering right now at half price. That gets into, there's coaching, hypnosis, meditations for emotional eating and preparing yourself or taking care of yourself during emotional eating, how to manage emotional eating, how to prepare your life so you don't emotionally eat. There's lots of good stuff in there too. So go to the show notes, find some love from me. And also, if you have a friend who is stressed out and eating, please share this with them. I promise you they will be thankful, and you'll be thankful because they won't want to stress eat either. You guys can go do something healthy together to blow off steam. And I'd also like to just thank Colette, the beautiful Colette Whitaker, an amazing therapist who weighed in a little bit on some of the tactics we are going to talk about here today. She is an amazing therapist who also deals with trauma. So to start with, I am going to walk through what our brain is doing during uncertain times that may lead to unwanted overeating. And then I'm going to walk through 10 strategies that you can engage in to bring yourself and that brain of yours back into balance during this or any stressful time, so that reaching for food for comfort can start to become a thing of the past. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, so whether it's stressful disruption and uncertainty with something going on in your life, or the weather, or the economy, or all of the above, all the interruption to our status quo freaks our brain out. Because remember, our subconscious mind doesn't like change. Our brain perceives life's interruptions all pretty much the same, like we are heading straight for an iceberg. We're the Titanic heading for that iceberg, and the brain will send out a 5-alarm warning. Our limbic system and amygdala, our primitive and more subconscious brain, go into hyperdrive, jumping into fight, flight, or freeze mode. And our prefrontal cortex, aka the smart reasoning conscious mind, shuts down to give more energy to the bodies, to give you sort of an idea, like back in the olden days when we were out in the jungle or on the plains running from a cheetah that was running after us. Our brain would shut down basically to give all the energy to the rest of our bodies. So we don't have a lot of strategic brain power or mindfulness at these times. It's all automatic responses. And for those of us who eat due to stress and emotions, guess what? That automatic response is gold star for you. And by the way, just so you know, we don't reach for broccoli at these times. Oh, no. Unless it's a broccoli cupcake or a broccoli bagel, right? So we end up overeating and maybe overeating some more, and we get mad at ourselves and stop overeating, that inner critic says. You know better. But do we? Remember, the smart, know better part of our brain has had magical fairy dust sprinkled all over it and has gone to sleep. So we are basically stressing out the already panicking part of our mind even more by yelling at ourselves, which makes us do what? Eat even more and feel like the iceberg is even closer. Promising to be good tomorrow maybe offers that temporary sense of order being restored, but because there are so many things out of our control, the stress returns and we defy our promise and eat and dig ourselves deeper, getting even more upset with ourselves. So our job, my friend, is to bring ourselves back into grounded centeredness, calm down our mind, our beautiful mind, and bring back that wonderful, smart frontal lobe to be back in mindful self-management, so that even if we cannot control the weather or the people in our lives or the actions and events going on out in the world, we have tools to chunk down that iceberg into little ice cubes that can then evaporate into gas. So, here they are. Number 1, go on a stimulus strike. What do I mean? I mean your brain has millions and millions of bits of information coming at it per second, and when you are doom strolling and have the news on in the background, or you're in a fight with your friend and madly texting back and forth, you are further triggering your mind and setting off even more fireworks. The prime directive of your subconscious mind is to survive, And interestingly, our mind will feel the compulsion to scroll and text, listen, and absorb in order to solve the problem and figure things out. It wants the solution. But what if what is going on is out of our control? Well, it will trigger old trauma that can make us feel even more powerless, like when we were younger and in a dangerous or unsafe situation. It will re-trigger that feeling and it can feel even more intense. So do what you can during stressful times to protect your brain from the oncoming onslaught of information and opinions, especially if they are emotionally oriented. Nowadays, many information sources play upon our beliefs and emotions and agitate us into deeper states of anger and fear or overwhelm and apathy. And I'm not saying hide your head in the sand, but I am saying find a rational information source that will give you the facts in a calm, cool, collected manner and summarize everything so that you can get your information and get out and get back to yourself and the things you have choice and power over in your life. Also, please remove the refined food stimulus from your life as well, because if you are stressed, stress messes with our willpower, aka you don't have any right now. So anything that may seem tempting will get eaten a lot quicker than if you were in a calm state of mind and had a semblance of willpower. So get rid of the food that's going to cause the problems, cause the overeating, stimulate your carb zombie. You don't need another thing bugging you. Get rid of the extra stimulus that is raking your central nervous system over the coals. Advocate for your overwhelmed brain and bring the inputs way down. Good. Are we turning down the volume on the stimulus already? Okay, good. 2, forgive yourself. Okay, I know you've heard me say this before, but it's the thing everyone seems to forget when they're stressed. Self-criticism and self-abuse, yelling at yourself because you are overeating, stresses you out even more and drives overeating. So give yourself some loving compassion. Compassion connects you with your heart, and your heart can start to connect you with all of you, including your head. Self-compassion actually helps us recover our rational, mindful selves and believe in our ability to take care of ourselves. So here is a mantra that I would like to give to you. I love the part of me that is eating because I am stressed. It means I care. Let's try that again. I love the part of me that is eating because I am stressed. It means I care. Now put your hands over your heart and just say that and give yourself a little love and really feel that forgiveness. I love the part of me that is eating because I'm stressed. It means I care. Now you may think that this would give you license to eat more, but it has an amazing ability for you to want to believe in yourself and advocate for yourself. Okay, so number 3, feel your feelings with your vulnerable you and your resourceful you. So let me explain. There is a scared, small, inner you that is like a child and maybe didn't feel heard or taken care of in the past. And this child feels unsafe. Whenever there are stressful events outside that you don't feel in control of, the child feels unsafe. And there's a big but here. There's also the resourceful you, the amazing adult you, the nurturing you, who has gotten you through all the other hard times, including, might I remind you, a global pandemic. So here is an easy to remember rain technique that is an acronym that I'm going to walk you through to give you the ability to start to feel your feelings without eating over them. Because when we push our feelings down with food, it may seem like they go away momentarily, but haven't you noticed they kind of grow stronger there in the dark subconscious? And feeling them connects us to what is real and allows us to actually move through them and come up to our heart. It calms down our central nervous system ultimately, so they don't own us. We own them. RAIN stands for recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. So I'll walk you through each one. Recognize what is going on. We keep ourselves really busy, and my guess is you've got lots of stuff going on in your life. And it's easy also to push down feelings with busyness. So we'll have all this stuff going on in our inner life, but we aren't even recognizing it, stopping it, and just being with it. So take a moment, take a breath, and just say, I'm scared, or that all these different things are going on, and you can name them. My friend is upset with me. My mother can't pay her bills. I don't know if I have a job next month. I don't know what is going to happen with my money situation. Whatever it is, just recognize it. Call it out. It will start to ground you. And then allow all the feelings. And there might be a lot of feelings, like different feelings, because you might feel angry or scared, but underneath the bigger feelings that often hide the more vulnerable feelings. So there's like top level feelings and then underlying feelings. The anger kind of makes us feel in control, whereas the underlying feelings like fear, vulnerability, grief, those are vulnerable, and we don't like actually feeling them as much. So allow those feelings to be there, and just allow that small inner child, just to have the feelings that they're going to have. And what I like to do, what helps me, I don't know if this will help you, but it sure as heck helps me, is I usually have, when I start doing RAIN, I will imagine my heart is opening up because I'm going to allow all these feelings in. So I'll open it up, just kind of like how the Grinch stole Christmas. He had that heart that was 10 sizes too small, and it got bigger and bigger. I just imagine my heart getting really big. And I kind of imagine it opening up like it's got a barn door on it. And I just let all the feelings that I feel be inside my heart. Vulnerable, uncertain, sad, grief, instability. I don't know if that's a feeling, but it certainly feels like a feeling. Peeved, all of them, jealous, all the different feelings that you are feeling. Just let them all live right there in your heart. And you have the room for them, and you have the space for them. And then once you've kind of allowed all those feelings, and investigate how they feel in your body. So anger might feel like tightness in your throat, or a big warm ball in your chest, or fear might feel cold or clammy. But just investigate how they feel in your body. Don't get in your head about this. Don't get intellectual. This is to ground you in your body. So feel what they feel. And then N is nurture. Nurture and guide yourself through. So I want you to imagine the little child in you feeling their feelings, and maybe, all curled up in a ball and feeling a little small and afraid. And I want you just to imagine that wise, resourceful you that has gotten you through so many things in life, going over and just touching the face of that scared child and holding them, comforting them, and just holding them, being there for them, holding that space for them to feel their feelings. And you can just say to that small part of you, I've got this. We're safe. We can take this one step at a time. I've got this. We're safe. And we can take this one step at a time. We have a voice. Sometimes we forget how resourceful we are. So just allow that powerful you. So imagine that part of you. Sometimes I like to imagine crossing a bridge, my small self and my more resourceful self, starting on the bridge of the unknown. I call it the bridge of the unknown when I'm in a situation I don't know the answer to. And I just say, we're going to cross this bridge. We're going to cross over to the other side of knowing, because, we'll get through this time and then we'll look back and we'll say, wow, we got through that and we were okay and we're going to make this work, So imagine either just holding that child until they feel comforted and then walking that child over that bridge and just say, we're safe. We've got this. We're walking one step at a time. Or if you just want to sit and hold that child of yours and allow that child to feel comforted, that's fine too. But just acknowledging these two parts of yourself now working together. And then next, I forgot what number this is. Scrolling back up. I wrote all my notes. I sat down and you can hear my notepad. I was just like, I've got to do an episode on this. So, because just so many people reached out. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Number 4 is focus on making choices. All right. Trauma often occurs when things happen suddenly and without our choice. So feeling like you have choices in your life when you're stressed or overwhelmed helps you take back your power. When someone has gone through trauma, one of the tools to coming back to your body and to your sense of your own agency is to be aware of all the choices that you have on a daily basis. You can keep it simple. Choose what time you're going to wake up. You have a choice. You have a choice what healthy breakfast you're going to make or take with you on your way. You don't have to make it. You can just grab and go, but you have that choice. You can choose to go out for a walk. You can choose what TV show you're going to watch. As long as it's not stimulating or overwhelming, you can choose. You can choose what friend you're going to call and reach out to. So when things feel out of control, using this simple reframing tool can help you feel grounded in the choices of your life. All right, so that was number 4. Now, number 5. Create and focus on structure and routine because it anchors you in your day. I will do this. I will wake up and then I will meditate and then I will eat something and then I'll take the dog out for a walk and then I will check in with my friends. And, do you see what I'm saying? Recognizing your structure, because you probably already have a structure to your day, but recognizing that structure and creating something like a time that you go out for a walk every day, something that is grounded, again, in you and your self-care. One thing that I like to do, and I talk about this in the Emotional Eating Toolkit, is I like to do hourly or every other hour check-ins with myself and my body. And this really does help allow for a sense of structure. So if I'm, in the middle of my morning and I just stop, maybe if I'm boiling some water for some tea, or I'm at my desk and I'll stop and I'll close my eyes and I'll just scan my body and I'll say, okay, how am I feeling? Do I need anything? Do I need to feel an emotion? Do I need to get some water? Do I need to eat? Do I need to use the restroom? It's so crazy how our head gets cut off from our body, especially in times of stress. And, we're these walking, spinning out of control heads. We forget that we have a body. So tuning into your body every couple of hours, asking yourself what you need. Do you need to take care of? It tells that little child within you, you're the nurturing parent taking care of yourself. But two, it gives you a semblance of structure and advocacy for yourself. So I think it's a great tool, especially right now, if you're feeling stressed. And then number 6 is exercise, our favorite stress management. I know you knew I was going to tell you this, but so I'll keep this one short. But yeah, exercise. Hey, we're spinning around in our head. Get out for a walk, go to the gym, meet up with a friend. I've been meeting with friends and going hiking in the morning. It's so amazing, and it helps you feel rooted in your body. You feel your muscles, moving, and you feel the power of your feet on the ground. You feel grounded. Or if you can't walk, if you're for whatever reason cannot move or walk, perhaps you can move your upper body. Grab some soup cans and do some arm lifts or something else, but it gives you a sense of agency. It gives you a sense of feeling strong. It also gets your endorphins going and helps you calm down. And then another thing that I think we could all benefit from is to get out in nature right now. I know some of you, it's snowy and are having weather events. I know that our friends in South Carolina have fires, so the air might not be great, because it certainly wasn't great in LA for a long time after the fires. So, but to the degree you can, get out in nature, go to a drive, play some nice music, and then go somewhere where you can take a hike or a walk, or just get out in a neighborhood and walk around. I've been also walking around, and it's, spring here in Los Angeles, so the flowers are blooming and there's nice smells in the air. So I've really been relishing being here right now because, as you know, the summertime is too hot and it's brown, but right now it's very green. So get out in nature. It keeps things simple. Nature reminds us, how big the world is and how vast it is. And it kind of takes all those troubles and minimizes them. We see them in more perspective in the bigger picture. So, exercise and get out in nature. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, now here's for some of you who have been overeating refined carbs or carbs in general, hibernate your carb zombie. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think 2 episodes ago, the SOS if you are gaining weight, which is a great accompaniment podcast episode to this episode, because if you've been over stress eating, maybe you've gained a little weight. So that episode is a great one to listen to if you've gained a couple of pounds and your carb zombie is out of control. But basically, lower the carbs, up the protein, and that will do so many things. It will make your brain feel better. There's many biological and neurological processes in play when we overeat carbohydrates and overstimulate ourselves. And interestingly enough, when we're overeating carbohydrates, it tends to tripwire negative self-talk naturally. I have just noticed this over the years. Isn't it interesting how when we just gorge on carbs, it just tripwires that ability to just be so cruel to ourselves. So lowering the carbs, and it might not be easy at first. It might be like, why would I want to eat a salad? If we're overeating carbs, that part of our brain does not want to go back to healthy eating, but just eat some protein, eat some healthy, wholesome foods, and see how you start to feel grounded and you're really taking care of yourself. Now, here's another one. Number 9 is intercept your negative thoughts with a stop. Stop. I don't think that anymore. Stop. I don't say that to myself anymore. And then refocus your mind on gratitude. Now, here is the thing, and I've been really practicing this. I'm not talking about a gratitude list. A gratitude list is meaningless unless you feel the feelings of gratitude. So our brain does some crazy stuff. I was going to say something else, but I said stop. So the negative things that happen to us in life get immediately taken in and implanted within us. Haven't you noticed? But the good things that happen when we're having a beautiful moment, our mind kind of moves on and doesn't absorb that into us in the same way. So our body and our brain are much more attuned and used to feeling negative and being fearful and having all those negative thoughts and feelings. And it's a survival tactic of the brain, of course, but now what we can do, we can have some agency in our gratitude. So when you're being grateful, be grateful. Feel it in your body. And you don't have to have a huge list. Just think of a couple of things you're grateful for. Every day, I have this little ritual I do in the morning, and I'm, stretching on the ground, and then I kind of bow my head down and I just allow myself to be grateful for the things I have in my life, my children, and their health, and I'll feel that in my body, that gratitude, right? And what I try to do, and this is something you can try on, it's kind of fun, but you stretch out your gratitude feeling, meaning if you can hold on to those lovely, luscious feelings that you're feeling, whether it's gratitude or you're just having a lovely moment in your life, like you're walking by a rose bush and you smell this beautiful scent and you go, gosh, this rose bush is so beautiful and this moment is so nice. I'm here with my friend and we're together and everything's okay right now. Like hold on to that moment for 30 seconds, stretch it out. Just try to be in that gratitude for 30 seconds or that feeling for 30 seconds. And you start to train yourself to be in good feelings. Haven't you noticed when people give you a compliment or whatever, you brush it off, you push it down, and then you think something negative instead often? So that's just our crazy little brain doing what it does, but we have some agency. We can stop. Okay, I'm going to feel this gratitude. I'm going to feel, okay, oh, I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. Okay, I'm going to feel that gratitude. Oh, I'm so lucky. That and it's, or maybe imagine I played with my it was so fun. My husband and I babysat for my cousin's little children who are 2 and 5, and they are so alive. And I don't know if you have grandchildren or children, but children just make you feel like, wow, they are so in the moment with their lives. And this little one, he was like you could be so upset one moment, and then you're just like, over here, we're an owl, and we're an owl in a nest. And he's like, eyes light up, and he's like, so you can see his brain is just moving from one state to another. It's so cool. But my children are listening to this. That doesn't mean I want to be a grandmother yet. But I just really relished the time we spent with them, and it really reminded me of just that feeling of, just holding a baby or holding your dog and holding your cat or holding another human being, and just that feeling of, oh, this is nice. And just holding that out and extending that out. I mean, that's as good as it gets, right? So why not give yourself the gift of that every day, a couple of times a day? Love on yourself in that way with some gratitude in your body, even during uncertain times. I mean, now more than ever, enjoy what we have. Enjoy what the presence, the present moment is. Okay, and number 10. Dun, 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 community. I bet some of you knew I was going to say that. So there are others going through probably what you're going through, my guess is. And when we are stressed out, I don't know if you know this, but our brain kind of shuts down so that we feel like we're alone. And there is nothing like reaching out and being in groups of other people who are like-minded. And, whether it's a group that you have, like a knitting group or a gardening group or a work group or a workout group or, even, a community group, you remember who you are in these groups. You connect with others. You don't feel alone. And we have a shared experience, and that calms us down. Um, you know, and usually in groups we can find strategies and tools that maybe we couldn't think of on our own. And in groups, we often are taking action in some sort of way. And getting in action really helps you get out of stress because you're taking some control on some level. Getting action by, I went out and planted my dahlia bulbs, took out all my dahlia bulbs today. Oh my gosh. And I got a lot of dirt and I just planted them I do these little trays, and I plant them till they sprout and grow a little bigger, and then I'll put them out in my yard later. But that I just like connected with the dirt, connected with my little baby dahlias. They're like little babies. I'm tucking them to their dirt beds. I love it so much. So, but being with others and being in community, even if it's an online community, I mean, that makes it easy, right? Because it's accessible. That is also really, really helpful. Okay, so here I've got all my little notes and papers here. I'm gonna go through my list. Hold on just a minute. I'm gonna Okay, number 1, go on a stimulus strike. 2, forgive yourself. 3, feel your feelings with your vulnerable you and your resourceful you. And go through that rain. Recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. And then 4, focus on making choices. 5, create structure and focus on structure. 6, exercise. 7, get in nature. 8, hibernate that carb zombie. 9, intercept the negative thoughts with feeling gratitude in your body. And 10, get out into a community and be with other people. Like our Thin Thinking community. I really cherish you and really appreciate you. And I send out love to all of you. If you're going through a tough time, I hope this episode has helped in some way. You are so resourceful. You have everything within you. You do not need to reach for food. And if you do, forgive yourself. How human. Remember our mantra. Let me remember it first, and then I'll give it to you. Oh my God, life. Your brain is overwhelmed when you can't remember your mantra. Okay, I love the part of me that is eating because I'm stressed. It means I care. I love the part of me that is eating because I'm stressed. It means I care. And I care. I care about you. I hope this has served you. So what is my call to action today? My call to action is get into my show notes and get yourself a free shift out of stress session. It's a half hour long. I should have put that as number 11. Listen to my hypnosis for stress management. It's relaxing. It's calming. People love it. And if I do say so myself, I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I'm just trying to inspire you to listen to it because I do think it will be helpful. And if you care to, there is a very inexpensive emotional eating toolkit if you want to, fortify your toolkit or your, resources. All right, friends, have a great week. And remember that the key, and probably the only key to unlocking the door of the weight struggle, is within you and inside you. So keep listening and find it. I will be here with you next week. Have a good one. Thanks for listening to the Thin Thinking podcast. Did that episode go by way too fast for you? If so, and you want to dive deeper into the mindset of long-term weight release, head on over to www.shiftweightmastery.com. That's www.shiftweightmastery.com, where you'll find numerous tools and resources to help you unlock your mind for permanent weight release, tips, strategies, and more. And be sure to check the show notes to learn more about my book, From Fat to Thin Thinking, Unlock Your Mind for Permanent Weight Loss, and to learn how to subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode.